Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. All right, everybody, welcome back. And I'm joined by the lovely Kahu Lāhela.
Aloha,
Aloha.
Casey, as we say.
Nice to see you. Why don't you start by telling the audience a little bit about your journey? You put the camera down, and now you're helping people in a different way. Why don't you tell people a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey for me, and it was a process of letting go of a six-figure income, a six-figure livelihood, and entering into the realm of and the territory of the unknown, the great unknown. That whole process occurred in a couple of years, but it wasn't as smooth as one may think. In fact, it was there were many lessons, many life lessons that challenged me on truly letting go. And that is an important lesson, especially for me in this lifetime, letting go of the comfort and stepping into discomfort so that one is always stretching oneself, always growing, expanding, renewing, and not, my life is not about playing life small. It's really about getting out there into the world, reaching as many people as I can on whichever platform like this is fantastic, and to deliver messages of love, messages of compassion, and messages of self-trust. Many people don't trust themselves. I hear this time and time and again. And so it's been that process, that journey for me. And my mantra is always let go, trust, and allow.
Gotcha. You have this passion, you have this passion for helping people. And I mean, it's in your energy. It's in your, it's in your face. I mean, this is what you were supposed to do. When did you know that you were in the space that you were supposed to be in, and helping people the way that you were supposed to be?
Yeah. Well, I had a wonderful mentor, and he was the one who said, he did numerology and astrology, and he was also a Hawaiian Kahu, like myself, a keeper of the light, but he was one I looked up to and respect and revere still to this day. And he guided me. He said, you are entering into another phase of your life, becoming a sage. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And he says, so you need to ask, I may have shared this before, you need to ask who's going to help you to bridge between the physical realm and the spiritual realm.
Okay.
And you're going to be letting go of your identity of who you have been.
Used to be, yeah.
You used to be a professional photographer.
Right.
And yeah, you can still call yourself a photographer, but that's not your greater purpose, your greater role, your greater kuleana, as we say, in this lifetime.
That's so neat. I want to pick your brain about a couple of things. Can you talk to me about the importance of being centered and being grounded?
Yes, that was crucial for me on my journey. I think I may have shared how I had gone through bankruptcy, foreclosure, and starting anew. And here I am in this home today where I'm supposed to be. So that whole journey of letting go, trusting, and allowing, one really needs to be centered and grounded. And how we do this is just, if you can just quiet yourself, have quiet time, carve out important, valuable self-care time, quality time, quiet time, no distractions. Just sit with yourself, be with yourself, get to know yourself, get to know who you are. Sit, and if you can, meditate for 5 minutes a day. Just start there. And it's just focusing on your breath. Your breath is crucial to you centering yourself. Inhaling slowly and deeply through the nose and exhaling out the mouth slowly and deeply. And this is how you bring all the fragmented parts of you back into wholeness. That is centering yourself. Then you must ground your feet as if I'm here in my office, but I visualize myself standing on Mother Earth barefoot and grounding, sending roots out of my feet into Mother Earth and just grounding myself. That's very important that we ground so that we're not all like, flailing about out there aimlessly. It's important to center, ground, spread your roots deep and wide. And we do this through our breath. We inhale and we exhale. And as we exhale, we're sending roots deeper and wider into Mother Earth. And she grounds us. She holds us. She is our mother. We cannot be here if it weren't for her.
Mm-hmm.
And we resonate to her, her heartbeat. And when we are able to resonate with Mother Earth's heartbeat, that's when everything aligns for us and we can align ourselves. It's sort of like, the visual I love is looking down upon a hurricane and you see the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
That's where it's safest.
Uh-huh.
And if you're out on the fringes, that's where you're getting beat up.
Right.
And we
Right.
do that to ourselves without without purpose, without focus, without intention. That's why intentions are important. Prayer is important. And centering and grounding is important. That way we can stand in the eye of the storm and chaos can go on around us, but we're able to navigate because we can see clearly.
Right. Right.
And any of life's challenges can come to us, can come at us, and yet we can breathe through it without reacting out of fear.
I see.
And this is so crucial. And this is a
This is
practice
important,
that
right? Yeah.
yeah,
I,
that I had to learn on my own.
yeah. Tell me if there's any truth to this. I heard that people that like yourself that work with energy, it's tell me if there's any truth to this. That a good place to do it is on the beach, to walk barefoot on the beach, because in the sand there are crystal particles that kind of rejuvenate. Is there any truth to that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's
Yeah.
a lot of truth to that. Exactly. Yes. That's tapping into Mother Nature's vital energy force, and it's healing. And of course, the ocean, the salt water is very healing. It's purifying. Salt is purifying.
Oh, to breathe it in, you mean?
To just take it all and absorb it into our bodies. After I go do a blessing, I'll head down to the beach and I'll just soak in the ocean
Oh, wow.
for a good 30 minutes, and it's releasing. I'm able to release all the toxins, all the negative connections from the day.
Mhm.
Last time we spoke about connections that we don't see,
Yeah.
but they're there. And so this is a great way to release them and renew and refresh ourselves in Pono, that Hawaiian value Pono of rightness,
That's what we
correctness.
should be doing at Pono, right?
Yes,
That's
yes,
what it
yes,
means. Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So the water and the sand, the beach, that's a good grounding place.
Oh, fabulous. And barefoot, yes.
Barefoot.
Yes.
How about on the grass?
Oh, yes, definitely earthing. Earthing. If you can, well, it's probably hard for many people this time of the year, but here in Hawaii, I'll just go out and stand in my yard, sit on my lawn, barefooted, and just, receive all the rays of the sun. We need sun, even
Yeah.
though a lot of people today will put on sunscreen. If you can get 10 minutes of sun without sunscreen. We need the sun.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
heard that was real important too. With when COVID was going on, people weren't getting outside to get that vitamin D or whatever it was. So I guess it's important on a lot of levels. Vitamin D and the sun is real important too for
Real
grounding.
important, really important for grounding. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, that's I feel so much better. So sometimes we'll have like several days in a row of rain, and yeah, we're not outside. And then afterwards, when the sun comes out and I step outside and I get my, 10, 15 minutes of sun, a huge vitamin pill of B12, energy
Hmm.
and just joy. It yeah, it's magical. And it's instantaneous.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, okay. How about um, what are your thoughts on asking ourselves um, quality questions? What does that mean to you?
Yeah. So in order to up level our lives and retrain our thinking out of negative thoughts, it's how we can do that. It's usually patterns that repeat themselves over and over and over and over in our minds
Hmm.
that play like, subconsciously. And we're not really paying attention to them, but they're there.
Uh,
And but in order to get out of that habit, we must ask ourselves quality questions. And what I mean by quality questions are anything that will give you a quality answer. So not a yes or no question, but like, for example, if I'm feeling ungrounded today, I can ask, what can I do for myself today for grounding, for healing? If I'm feeling ill, if I have a health complication, I can talk to my body. Our bodies are incredibly um, intelligent. And we can have a conversation with our body, ask our body, what is it you would have me do today to alleviate this situation?
hmm.
What can I do to help us uh, resolve this issue? What would be, and so these are quality questions, and you just sit quietly and wait for that ever so soft voice or message to come to you. I receive it as an idea, a notion. It's an idea that drops into my being,
Hmm.
and that's the guidance that I receive. And
Do you
they'll
speak the questions out loud?
I do, I
Okay.
do, I do. Yeah, I
That's in that
mean,
time where you're sitting alone, quiet,
exactly.
and then you
Yeah,
ask the question to would it be a part of the body or
it can be. Yes, if you know the part of the body, then great.
like if your
What are
leg
you
is
trying?
bothering you or something? What would you say?
Right. Like I would say, like ask that part of your body, what is it that you're trying to tell me? What is it that you are, because the body is trying to get our attention.
Right. Yeah.
And when it hits the body, when the pain hits the body's been trying to communicate to us for so very long, but we haven't been paying attention. So it's got to speak louder, and it's going to speak louder through pain
Makes sense.
and discomfort. So by the time it's gotten to that point, it's kind of far along.
Hmm.
So it's best we begin the conversation right away and ask that part of the body, what are you trying to tell me? What is it that I haven't been paying attention to? How can I assist in our healing? What would you have me eat? What would you have me drink? What would you have me stop eating and stop drinking? And let the body tell you. It's going to guide you. and it's really just, we're living such a fast-paced life
Yeah.
now. I think attention span is maybe, I don't know, 7 seconds nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, right,
Right.
Casey?
It is.
And so, it's like we have to sit and pause and you know, put the pause button on so that we can breathe. We're forgetting to breathe. We're forgetting to that we have the ability, our bodies are capable of healing themselves, because we just like automatically go to pharmaceuticals. We
Oh yeah.
automatically go to a doctor. We automatically go outside of ourselves to look for the answers, to look for the healing.
Mm.
When your body knows what's best for you, and you can tune into that frequency, that vibration, and
So
receive
amazing.
answers. Yeah, our body's intelligent.
It's really it's so crazy how it will heal itself. Um, and I mean, it's really it's just like this supercomputer, which is just so
It
it,
is. It
it's
is.
so blows my mind.
It's yeah, and when we can do this for ourselves, it's like we need to reboot. We need, just like a computer, you reboot a computer,
Hmm.
we need to reboot our bodies as well.
Gotcha.
And we need to, do maybe less social media, be on our phones less, be on our devices less, and really tap into pure source energy and earth centering, grounding, aligning with our higher self. This is how we do it.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Uh, this is something I'd like to hear your thoughts on. Can you talk about being mindful of our thoughts and our words?
That
Why
goes,
do we have to be mindful of that?
well, that goes hand in hand with purpose, being purposeful on a daily basis, waking up every morning and not just living in autopilot mode.
Mm,
And I have trained myself to select words that empower me, select thoughts and words that empower me, as opposed to speaking words that just fall out of people's mouths, which, it's we hear words like, oh no, that's I can't do that, that's too hard,
oh,
that's difficult, I'm not talented enough, I'm not smart enough. And these kinds of thoughts derail us and keep us living stuck in 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 not moving forward.
right.
And so when we can be mindful of our thoughts, if we have those kinds of thoughts, we need to pull them out, release them. And that's what I do. Casey, I'll just go like this, pull them out, release them, and then I'll think a thought and I'll say the words that will empower me. Because why? Because we are creating. To think is to create, and to speak is to create. And so why don't we use words? It's like when we're brushing our teeth and we're combing our hair and we're grooming ourselves, we do that every single day. But why aren't we being more mindful of our words every day? I mean, that should go hand in hand, because then we can live more purposefully. We can be more in tune with our body, with life on all that surrounds us. And we can create healing, not just for ourselves, but for our families, our communities, and on and on and on.
Right.
And so I would much rather, because we can create in the negative and we can create in the positive. I would much rather utilize my incredible brain, my incredible body for good rather than for harm.
Yeah.
Because if we speak harmful words out there about other people, you're really casting that upon yourself. And so we have to I love this, is asking at the end of the day, please forgive me if I have harmed anyone through my thoughts, words, or actions, and cleanse daily, so that the next day you start anew, you
That's a
start
good idea.
fresh in
Yeah.
Kono, and that clears all of those negative connections that we have with other people,
Hmm.
and it loosens up the entanglement that I have created with that individual by speaking words that are disempowering
Gotcha. Can I
about
ask
them.
what? Can I ask you what would you say? Like say like I stubbed my toe and just without thinking I let out a curse word or something like that. Is that bringing our energy and our vibration down by using profanity?
No, I mean, there is a place for it, for
Okay.
profanity. Yeah, not,
Okay.
and this is not about being perfect,
Uh,
okay? Yeah, and I'm not a perfect person. However, there is a time and place that yeah, I mean, ex is what's the word for that?
expletive.
Expletive. Yes, expletives
So
are
it's not bringing you
purposeful
down
to,
by saying stuff like that.
no, not as long as you're not saying it all the time. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't
Um,
know if that was something that as far as energy would make it bring you
well,
down.
sometimes they're very useful in
I
expressing oneself,
I can't picture you using profanity. I can't.
oh, it's a lot of fun. I had some girlfriends over the other night, and we were using expletives throughout the
Okay.
so that was a lot of fun, I have to say.
All right. Well, that must be fun to see. But okay. All right.
Fly
Yeah,
on the
I want to
wall.
get your thoughts on that. That's
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah.
um well, let me um oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Was there anything more because that's I love how you at the end of the day you say something for your pono, say
Yeah.
forgive me for if my
Yes.
words hurt anybody. You do that
Yeah.
every day?
Yeah. Yeah, to cleanse.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's being mindful of our words.
Right. And exactly. And it's being mindful of how we're showing up every day. If I am gossiping throughout the day, if I am complaining throughout the day, if I am chewing somebody out because they did, according to me, they did something wrong,
Right.
then I'm dumping on other people. I am creating these negative connections, and those become entanglements, and the entanglements are knots that keep us trapped and stuck in uh, negativity,
Mhm.
which is what we're dragging around with us day after day after day. We don't see these entanglements, but we are wrapped in them. We're strapped like vines around us, and we don't realize why we're so exhausted. Why am I
Mhm.
so tired? Because geez, and it's it's it causes fatigue. But when we can cleanse and release and being mindful of our thoughts, words, and actions, and speak empowering words, and it doesn't mean like if you have had a negative situation with someone,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that you have to, all of a sudden, like, just like love that person. But if you can ask for forgiveness for that entanglement, for that negative event, the
Yeah.
negative situation, then when you ask for forgiveness, it unbinds you. You release that entanglement,
See.
which no longer burdens you, and therefore no longer, you're you're boosting yourself up with more energy,
Gotcha.
because otherwise, entanglement upon entanglement creates fatigue in our bodies, in our minds,
Yeah.
with our emotions. Our emotions get trapped in those entanglements, and we don't know why we're unhappy, and it can build up over time. And next thing you know, it's like, oh my gosh, I have this pain in my stomach, in my gut. I have this pain here. Why is that? Well, that's because there are all these entanglements.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And so everything is connected.
Yeah.
Everything is connected.
Kahu, Lāhela, I love when you come on. You're so aware and really positive. So I'm a big fan of your show. Let me give you the last word here. Anything that you want to leave the audience with, and then let us know how to get a hold of you.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So I love to end the show with Eola Pono. That's 3 words. A, which is the letter E, Ola, O-L-A, Pono, P-O-N-O, Eola Pono. And it means live intentionally, live with intention, which means don't just live in autopilot mode. Grab a hold of your life, grab a hold of your day, get the reins and take control of where you're going and how you're moving and what you're creating in the moment. So when I say live intentionally, be purposeful with your thoughts, your words, your actions. Make sure that you are blessing the space, any space that you enter, with your love and your light for healing for all.
Love that. That's
especially yourself.
yeah, that's great. Where do we get a hold of you?
Okay, yes. You can find me on my website, www.kahulahela.com. And there you will find I have an online course called The Journey Inward. And you will also find the link to my app, Kahu Lāhela app, which you can also find on Apple Store and Google Play. And you can also find me on YouTube at Kahu Lāhela, and Instagram, Kahu Lāhela, and Facebook, Kahu Lāhela. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Always enjoy. Can't wait to hear what you got to say next. Kahu Lāhela, everybody. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.